needed strong advice because it was a close fight.
Pro boxing fans here in Riyadh, it's the day after the big one. Gareth A Davies yesterday lived up to everything we expected to and more. First of all, how are you on this Sunday evening?
I'm very relaxed with the piano music in the background, and I'd like to say it's the day after the night before, but I've hardly had any sleep. Just been working non-stop, couple of hours sleep, back to writing and doing some TV and radio stuff and stuff with people like yourselves who are relentless, by the way, never stop working. I want that to be known about we don't really party, do we? We just work. Yeah, it's the calm after the storm of the night before right now. I'm fine. I just hope the two fighters are well, you know, or all the fighters are well off the card. But obviously, we know that Oleksandr Usyk went to hospital for an MRI scan because he was having problems with his jaw after the fight. But we saw him afterwards, didn't we? I don't know if you saw him. But yeah, he came to the press conference, very emotional. The little pet donkey that his daughter Elizabeth had given him. Talked about being away. Talked about his father gone and some tears. And Tyson was very magnanimous in the press conference in defeat. Thought he'd won it. It's a very close fight in lots of ways. There were 2 or 3 swing rounds, but I felt Usyk did enough to win it, and I gave it to him 114, 113.
I think quite a few people I spoke to said Usyk probably just edged that from the interviews I did. Let's just sort of break that fight down a little bit. Tyson, for the first 6 or 7 rounds, he started to gain more control in them rounds, especially between the 4th and the 7th round. And then Oleksandr Usyk seemed to bust Tyson's nose. From that point onwards, it seemed to swing in Usyk's way. How did you see that all playing out?
Well, I thought Fury was very dominant after 6 rounds, and when they look back at the fight, they've got a lot to take away from it that's very, very positive, and some negative stuff as well, which they might kind of look. I'll start from the beginning how it is. Tyson Fury is going to feel very deflated right now. He's going to feel in the bosom of his wife when he goes home. She's pregnant, he's about to have his 8th child. It'll be beautiful for him to be back with the family, because there is a grieving process when you've had your first loss like that. He took it like a man last night, as I said. But when they look at the fight, they will look at those first 6 rounds and go, oh my God, maybe we threw that fight away. Because he was dominating, and at that time, you know yourself when you watch, if you go back to that 6th round, there was the feeling he was about to stop Usyk in the next couple of rounds. And then Tyson does what he does, hands around the back, a little bit shut, and he almost enjoyed himself too much. And he got very confident, very comfortable in there. And you know there's that expression about never get too greedy in a fight. And he said in the press conference, I was enjoying myself, could you not see? And it was a very close fight at the end of the day. So I think when the team goes back, when the dust settles, he may want to retire for a couple of weeks. Think, do you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. But the fighting man in him, when the dust settles, I think will want to settle that score. When they look at I say the tapes. It's not tapes anymore. When they look back on the actual fight and just see the very positive things that came out of it, and how razor tight it was. In fact, don't listen to what people say. You know. Usyk would have been robbed if Fury got a decision. There were at least 3 swing rounds, and if Fury had been told to come out hard in the last 2 rounds, he'd have won the fight. So there were so many factors. It was befitting of 2 undefeated fighters. It was high-level physical chess. It went back and forth. You have to praise Usyk for the man he is in those last 4 rounds. You have to praise Tyson Fury's chin. He was out on his feet. His powers of recovery in that 10th round. He fought back. I gave him the 12th round. I do think there were 3 swing rounds. The travelling community took the result really well as well, I thought. Very honest about it, very fair. It was an amazing event. The fans travelled for this one for the first time. It's a you know, obviously there'll be a lot of sadness that Tyson's not taking all the belts back. But he can do it again in October. But I think he'll take a bit of time to make that decision. You know, £80 million. But I'm not sure he's going to fight Anthony Joshua, you know. I'm not sure about it. and not because he fears Anthony Joshua, but if he can come back and beat Usyk in a rematch, I think he'll be done.
Just going back to the fight, before we talk about any sort of rematches, at that point in the 8th round when Oleksandr Usyk hit that left and seemed to catch Tyson Fury, I'm sure he's busted it. A lot of blood came out. At that point, it seemed to sort of sway the tides. Do you believe that was the case, and do you believe from that point Usyk took full control of the fight?
I spoke to the cut man last night, Frank Hopkins. Yeah, Frank's 80s. It was his 40th world title fight. Frank was a horse dealer and a car dealer in his past life, and obviously started with Tony Oki, and he's been in the game 25 years. And he's, he might be 80, but he knows his onions. And he said he put the spikes up Tyson's nose. He said the blood came straight out in the end of that 8th round. He said it was clear after that. He didn't bleed. Did you notice that? But it was a problem. And it might have just dismayed Tyson, but I don't think it was. I think Usyk just found that perfect left hand, because he was looking for that angle all night. Because he was looking for 1, 2, 3 all the time. And if you think about it, it was a very fast-paced start to the fight. I think they were thinking about cut eye, who wanted to be ahead after 5 rounds, if the eye had been cut and they'd gone to the cards. Usyk was pressing the space all the time. Fury was very skillful, rope-a-dope. I mean, it was amazing, but he just caught him. His hands were down a lot. I look back at a lot of the photos of the fight, his hands were down. Because, like I said, again, to repeat, he was confident and enjoying himself. Usyk hurt him, and he capitalised. I think he hit him with a barrage of 15 shots, most of them left hands. Most of his work was left hand. But when Fury went to the body, he hurt him. Rounds 5 and 6, Fury had found the range, and he was hitting him from back here, slapping him to the body, hitting him with rights down the middle. That's what he needs to do next time. Go back to the jab, keep him away, make Usyk work. Look, I mean, I'm exhausted. My voice has gone. It's been an exhausting week. It was an amazing event. Both men are amazing fighters. There's too much criticism of, results these days, and it was a moment in time. It was great for the heavyweight division. First time we've had an undisputed for 25 years. Usyk became the 26th undisputed champion in history. When you look back at the great fighters, I think Tyson will come back, and I think it's going to be an even better fight the second time.
When you look online, there's a clip circulating from Tyson's corner.
Got a bit of an audience here, by the way.
There's a clip circulating from Tyson's corner where there seems to be a few people talking, and a lot of people have started to talk about that online. And I spoke to Teddy Atlas. I went to see Teddy just about a couple of hours ago, and said everything was fine until this point. These people were the people that got him to the top. So all of a sudden, everyone started to criticise. But what did you make of that clip? Did you see anything in that to say?
Well, I haven't really. I've just done my own work. I've seen Tyson afterwards. I've seen Oleksandr Usyk. I've seen Krasiuk. I've seen Frank Warren. I've written my own stuff. I haven't really watched and looked at what people have been saying. I mean, there's all kinds of theories that Usyk was having an inhaler during the fight, and I'm not sure about that, but we'll see. It'll come out. If it happened, we'll come out. And if he had permission, whatever it is. But for me, Tyson said at the press conference, I thought I was ahead in the fight going into the last round. Someone needed to tell him that he needed to win those last 2 rounds. If he'd won those last 2 rounds, I gave him the last round. If he'd won the last 2 rounds, he'd have won the fight. It was that close. But he needed strong advice, because it was a close fight. And Lennox Lewis said it. If you think it's a close round, you should be going out there trying to stop your opponent. And Tyson said himself, we thought we were winning the fight. If someone had said to me, go out there and lay it on him in the last round, I would have. I gave him the last round anyway. Very close round.
Amongst all the fighters that you've seen over these years, and amongst the greats of boxing, where does Oleksandr Usyk now rank? Undisputed at cruiserweight, undisputed heavyweight. He's done his thing in the Olympics. He's got all the accolades. Well, where do you rank him? I've
ranked him number 6 in the modern era of undisputed, and it goes. I've got Lennox Lewis 1, because I've just written an article. Lennox Lewis 1. This is debatable, so I'll get loads of shit for this. But I've got Lennox Lewis 1. I think George Foreman 2, Mike Tyson 3. No, I haven't. I've gone Lennox Lewis 1, Muhammad Ali 2, George Foreman 3, Mike Tyson 4, Evander Holyfield 5, and Oleksandr Usyk 6. That's from the last 50 years.
Anthony Joshua was there ringside.
You can argue that.
Of course, it's all very debatable. Anthony Joshua was there ringside, saw the fight going on. If Tyson Fury doesn't take on this rematch, do you feel like there's an appetite to see the third fight between AJ and Usyk, especially with the new start, or especially AJ under the tutelage of Ben Davison?
No, I think the appetite will be for the second fight between Fury and Usyk.
I'm saying if that fight doesn't happen for whatever reason, if Tyson wants to maybe...
So then they'll do that. Yeah, of course they will, because they're going to do, in 2 weeks' time, or a week's time, no, 2 weeks' time, we're going to see Hrgovic against Dubois for some form of the IBF, I think, or the belt will be on the line. It might even be on the line. We don't know yet, but it might be. Joshua will fight the winner of that at Wembley on September 21st. And then if Tyson decides not to fight, they'll push that Usyk fight back into the Riyadh season a bit further, and they'll have it in December or something. I really have a feeling that if Fury comes back and he beats Usyk, he'll say, I'm done. I mean this fully respectfully, and you know I'm friends with Tyson, I love his family, and I've been friends with them a long time. I think there's signs of age there now, wear and tear. I don't want him to go on too long either. You don't want to see guys being beaten up, or losing their marbles, or going on too long. Look what he's achieved. Look what he's achieved outside the ring as well, the mental health, the Netflix series. I've done a lot of like tours with him on stage. Half the people are there not for his boxing. They're there for his mental health story. Look what he's done for the traveller community. You know? They'll never forget it here. It was an amazing weekend.
How hard is it for...
I didn't really answer your question.
You didn't, but it's fine. How hard is it for someone like Tyson, someone like Anthony Joshua to move away from the sport when there's this much money being paid to them?
Yeah.
As much as you're saying, talking about retirement, they're getting paid a lot of money. How hard is it going to be to walk away?
He's got so many millions and millions in the bank, it doesn't matter anymore. How much is enough? And I do know people very close to him, obviously, and they've already told me he's not interested in the money. I believe him. To a certain point, you need money. And you know, when he does believe in the old ways. You go with nothing, you come in with nothing. That's in every religion, isn't it? It's in Islam. It's in Islam, it's in Christianity, I saw it in every religion. And he's a spiritual guy, you know, so I just think that a fighting man in him will want one more fight. And if he doesn't beat Usyk a second time, and I do think we're going to get a similar fight, go 12 rounds, it'll be close. They're both masters of the ring, different styles. They didn't nullify each other, they fucking went at it hard, both of them. And they'll do it again, and it takes a lot out of these men. They're in their mid to late 30s now. And you know, there's all this money here from Saudi Arabia and Turkey Al Sheikh, who loves it. His Excellency loves these guys, he loves them. And we're grateful for that, but they mustn't go on too long.
Just want to let you sign out this interview. Just give me some sweet words on the champion, somebody who deserves to be praised at this time, somebody who's fought only the best in 2 divisions and beat everyone. Just tell me your thoughts, your final words on the champion, Oleksandr Usyk.
Yeah, I mean, he was very emotional in victory. He talked about his dead father, said he'd been away, missed all his children's birthdays. I think both men were very, very respectful to each other afterwards. There's been a couple of headlines of Tyson saying things, but he corrected it in the press conference. He was very magnanimous. Both men were. And I think they are as well, because I think they went into this fight knowing there may be another 12 rounds. And it always changes something when you know it's 2 fights, because it's a double header. It's home and away, isn't it? But yeah, well done to Oleksandr Usyk. You can't take anything away from him. Well done to Tyson Fury. Both great men, both great fighters. Honour and a privilege to be here.
Gareth A Davies.
Peace out.
Peace out. See you in 2.
Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight champion in the world.
There we go. We got a few of Tyson's fans behind us.
Yeah, we got a bit of an audience.
But yeah, respect to Tyson Fury, respect to Alexander Usyk. Gareth,
Take it like a man, take the loss like a man, and then move on and get to the next fight. That's what he needs.
Well, you know, your community's honest. You know, it was a very, very close fight. But I gave it 114, 113 to Usyk.
After the sixth round,
That's what I was saying.
He should have kept it up there, keep his guard up, keep his guard high after 6-7 rounds, and he would have dominated the fight.
I don't know if you heard what I said, but when they look at the fight back, they'll know, because you were there. After 6 rounds, you felt. Yeah, but after 6 rounds, they'll take.
He didn't follow up. No. First 6-7 rounds.
Your feeling was he's going to stop him in a couple of rounds.
When he hurt him to the body, he should have followed up.
Yeah, he enjoyed it too much almost. But you can't take anything away from what Usyk did either. 8th round, we discussed that. Yeah.
His nose, he couldn't breathe out his nose.
Yeah, but look at his powers of recovery in the 9th. He was gone. He was gone.
Fight should have been stopped. What Fury needs to do.
But he was on the rope sagging, so the ref acted instinctively to count him because the ropes were holding him up.
As a knockdown if he never could.
No, but the ropes were holding him up like that. He went down because his arms. He counted it as a standing count because he was down.
Gareth, I'm signing out this one.
Yeah, okay.
Something.